During President Trump's campaign, he made a promise to the American people that he would make America great again. That promise entailed a better job market for Americans, tougher vetting processes for refugees entering the country, and to build a wall along our southern border. Of course, all of these promises have been met with staunch opposition from the left. Trump's highly anticipated border wall has been the one they have resisted the most. Arguments over who will fund the wall have led to heated debates between liberals and conservatives. However, President Trump, being the shrewd businessman that he is, just got someone to pay for the wall that will blow liberals' minds. Today is the first day of meetings during the G20 summit, where top leaders around the world get together to speak about global economic growth, international trade, and financial market regulations. While all the world leaders sat down to talk, President Trump was not messing around and got right down to business about the southern border wall. For the last several months we have heard arguments over who should foot the $15 billion to fund Trump's US-Mexico border wall. There have been reports in the past that it would be funded by El Chapo's seized drug money that amounted to $14 billion. $14 billion will go a long way toward building a wall that will keep Americans safe and hinder the illegal flow of drugs, weapons, and individuals across our southern border, Senator Cruz stated, according to a statement obtained by Breitbart Texas from the senator's office. Ensuring the safety and security of Texans is one of my top priorities. Well, in case that plan does not come to fruition, President Trump made it known who would be paying for the wall during the G20. In front of the world, President Trump announced that Mexico would absolutely be paying for the wall. Reporter: Mr. Trump, do you still want Mexico to pay for the wall? President Trump, while seated next to Mexican President Nieto: absolutely. President Donald Trump said Friday that Mexico will absolutely pay for a wall on the US-Mexico border during a meeting at the G20 summit with Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto. It was Trump and Peña Nieto's first meeting since Trump visited Mexico during the presidential campaign. The Mexican president was supposed to visit in January but cancelled after Trump continued to insist that Mexico would pay for the border wall. Building a southern border wall and having Mexico pay for it was a key part of Trump's campaign. The border wall is estimated to cost $21.6 billion. The White House's 2018 budget request only calls for a fraction of this money, just $1.6 billion, to construct 60 miles of new walling. This border wall construction is expected to start in spring 2018, and the White House remains unclear about how Mexico will actually pay for it. It is at least clear that Mexico will not be paying up front. Mexico's Foreign Minister, Luis Videgaray, said after the meeting, the issue of the wall was not discussed. It was not part of the conversation. President Trump has not backed down to his promise on building the wall, and that is exactly what the American people desire. Just last month in Iowa, President Trump stated that he was interested in adding solar panels to the structure, which could lower costs for Mexico, who will ultimately foot the bill. President Donald Trump publicly proposed the idea of a solar wall on the southern border, to help pay for the building costs. Solar wall panels, beautiful, I mean actually, think of it. The taller it goes the more valuable it is, Trump said during a rally in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Trump said that there was lots of sun and lots of heat on the southern border, which would allow the wall to create energy and help pay for construction costs. This way Mexico will have to pay much less money, and that's good, Trump said. We'll see. Trump reportedly floated the idea of a solar wall during a meeting with congressional leaders in June, but hasn't publicly confirmed the reports. The wall needs to be built since it would help tremendously cut down on the illegals that flood over our border on a daily basis. Enough is enough with our border being treated as a revolving door for Mexico's criminal element to enter our country. If there are good citizens that want to come to our country to make a better life, they can follow the proper channels. We are not a bottomless pit of funds for these leeches to take advantage of, and it is time that Mexico begins to pay up. I have no doubt in my mind that President Trump will follow through and have Mexico pay for the wall. And, when that happens, it will be cause for celebration, since our country will be finally safe again. Share if you want President Trump to make Mexico pay for the border wall.